Steve coming at you, and welcome to Last Reps Baseball. Tonight should be an exciting matchup between two Japanese powerhouse baseball teams. I hope you all enjoy this and treat Freddie with all the respect he deserves. Call a good game, Freddie, and who knows, someday you may even see me in one of these games. And if you don't, you might want to come check out my channel and see what I do. You know what? But hey, let's get back to Freddie. Let's get some baseball. Let's just have a great game.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Reps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the first game of a two-game set between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. These two teams here are all locked in and tied for second place as they are in a battle for not just their playoff contention, but also for home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs. These two ball clubs here are facing each other tonight. The Hawks have 139 games played. They have 69 wins, 68 losses, and 2 ties. The Eagles, even though they're tied with them, have 138 games played. It is 69 wins, 68 losses, and they have 1 tie, and that means 1 tie less than the Hawks. So the Hawks have 4 games remaining in the schedule, including tonight. The Eagles have 5, and they play each other back-to-back here. And it will be a super deciding game here to figure out tonight which team is going to have the edge over the other. It probably means a little bit more for the Hawks, as they are right now running out of games, as they have 1 less game to play than the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. Also lurking in the background are the Chibalote Marines. They sit in 4th place and are currently out of a playoff position. They are a half game back of both of these two ball clubs. So a win tonight by the Marines and a loss by one of these clubs, and they will leapfrog into 3rd place. Unfortunately, a loss for the Marines will keep them in 4th, and more than likely a half game behind one of the two clubs here who would lose this ball game tonight. Well, first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Tohoku. Leading off and playing third base wearing number 0 is Hiroto Kobakata. Batting second and in right field is number 51, Yuya Ogo. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 35, Hiroki Shimouchi. The cleanup spot and playing second base is number 3, Hidetto Asamura. Batting fifth in left field is number 27, Takehiro Okajima. Batting sixth at first base is number 4, Toshiki Abe. Hitting seventh and in center field is number 8, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Batting eighth and doing the catching is Jinjiro Sumitani. Batting ninth and playing shortstop is number 66, Itsuki Moribayashi. And they will be facing, it'll be Tomohisa Ozeki who takes to the hill for the Hawks. He's got a 4-7 record on the year, 99 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has allowed 82 hits. He's given up 36 runs, 34 of which have been earned. He's walked 34 and struck out 71. He's got himself an earned run average of 3.07. Well, that's your starting lineup for Tohoku. Now your starting lineup for the home team from Fukuoka. Leading off in center field wearing number 23 is Yukio Shudo. Batting second and playing third base is number 00, Hikaru Kawase. Hitting third and right field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. And the cleanup spot and batting fourth is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. Batting fifth at first base is number 7, Akira Nakamura. Hitting sixth and playing shortstop is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting seventh in left field is number 32, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Batting eighth at second base is number 13, Masaki Momori. Batting ninth and doing the catching is number 19, Takuya Kai. And they are going to be facing the ace of the Eagles staff. It'll be Masahiro Tanaka. We say the ace, he's not had a good season. This is arguably probably the worst season that he's had in his NPB career, but you never can count Masahiro Tanaka out. He is 7-10 on the year. He's got 134 innings pitched, 151 hits allowed. He has given up 76 runs, 73 have been earned. He's walked 37 and struck out 80, and he's got an ERA of 4.89. Well, those are your starting lineups. We'll be back here in just a couple moments with all the action. We appreciate you guys, whether you listen live or on delay. It is Eagles versus Hawks when we return in just a couple moments. Appreciate you for jumping in tonight and checking us out. We are less than 60 seconds away from the Eagles and the Hawks. We'll be back in 30 after this from our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the ball game.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Tomohisa Ozeki who is on the mound, heating up here. The lefty is getting himself ready to go, as it will be the top of the order for the Golden Eagles. It'll be Hirota Kobakata, Yuya Ogo, and Hiroki Shimouchi to get things going for the Golden Eagles in their half of the first inning. For Kobakata, when he steps to the plate, he has got himself 36 stolen bases. Both he and Yukio Shudo in the ballgame tonight, with Shudo at 35, 1-2 in the Pacific League in thefts. And it is 36, as we said, for Kobakata. He had one last night in the game against the Oryx Buffaloes. He's got 5 homers and 37 RBIs, does the versatile third baseman tonight, as that's where he's getting the start. Last year, he was predominantly the shortstop for the Eagles, but this year they have moved him around. He's played left field, center field, some second base, shortstop, and third base. He is getting the nod here tonight in the leadoff spot. So Kobakata, Ogo, and Shimouchi here to face Ozeki as we are ready to get underway at 6:01 p.m. local time. And the first pitch of the ball game is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Kobakata. Kobakata batting from the left side against the lefty Ozeki. It'll be a left-handed laden lineup here for the Golden Eagles. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count now goes even to 1-1. The last pitch was at 89 miles an hour. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kobakata as the lefty Ozeki rocks into the windup and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Giving chase is Shudo, and he's going to haul it down. Nice over-the-shoulder running catch by the center fielder Shudo. That will retire Kobakata for the first out of the inning. So 1 eagle up and 1 eagle down, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. Well, for Ogo, he's hitting .265 on the season. He's got 9 homers and 48 runs driven in. He has seemingly locked down the right field position for much of this season for the Golden Eagles. It's been a bit of a revolving door position over the last few years. They've run a number of different players through that, mainly imports, as there's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander Ozeki rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. If it stays fair, it is going to be a chance for the left fielder Yanagamachi to haul it in, but it's not. It's going to bounce into that temporary seating and kick its way back onto the field. That's going to even the count to 1-1 on Ogo. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Lefty Ozeki ready to go back to work as he gets himself a new baseball, and he gets the sign from his catcher, Takuya Kai. Lefty versus lefty matchup, as we mentioned. The first 3 hitters in the order will hit from the left side against the lefty. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ogo on the brink of hitting double-digit home runs. The only player in the lineup tonight is Asamura. He's got 25. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. Ogo is at 9. Not a lot of power flashed in this lineup tonight. Of course, Tatsumi's got 8. Cal Franco having a tough time getting back into the side, especially when they're using Kobakata to play the third base position. Here's the 2-2. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Ogo goes in the books for the first strikeout of the ball game. He's gone for out number 2. It's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Hiroki Shimouchi. Well, for Shimouchi, he had himself a fantastic ball game last night. He had himself 5 RBIs. He drove in 5 of the 8 runs that the Golden Eagles scored, including 5 of the first 6. And a bases clearing double was the big blow. As the first pitch coming to Shimauchi is on the way, it's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Now, really, Shimauchi needs that. He's pulled his average up to 237. He's got 7 homers and 38 runs batted in. He has gotten hot at the right time as they are in the month of September. Now into October, as that fastball misses down it, and the count goes to 1-1. After pretty much a rugged season of inconsistency. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to first. Fielded by the first baseman, Nakamura, who underhands it to the pitcher covering. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 3-1 for the third out of the inning. And the Eagles will go quietly in their half of the first. There was no runs. There was no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through a half inning at the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka. Your score is the Eagles 0 and the Hawks coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I gotta go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the first inning, and it is going to be the ace of the staff. That's Masahiro Tanaka taking to the hill for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, as he is going to be facing Yukio Shudo, Hikaru Kawase, and Yuki Yanagita to get things going here in their half of the first inning. Golden Eagles are in their white pants with the maroon tops with the white swash. But they've got a navy blue hat on here with it. That is what their look is tonight. Our friend God is Great is in the house. That would be our friend Titus. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate you for being here. So Masahiro Tanaka in his last outing went 6+ innings. He has not had an outing less than 5 1/3 in his last 5 starts. But he is looking to be the big game pitcher that he was when he was in the major leagues with the New York Yankees here tonight. So here comes the first offering to Yukio Shudo, and it's a fastball that just misses low for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Shudo hitting .245, 2 homers and 17 RBIs. He has played very well over the last month or so. He has kept bringing his average up. He was well around the 200 mark for quite a while. So there's a fastball swung on, and it's hit through the 4-hole into right field. So a leadoff single here for Shudo, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Hikaru Kawase. So for Kawase, he's batting .232 on the year. He's got no homers and 14 RBIs. Be curious to see what they're going to do here, if they would consider this a bunting situation or if they're going to try to steal Shudo over. Shudo, with his 35 stolen bases, is nestled one behind Kobakata, leads the Pacific League in thefts. Shudo has that elite speed, and he's also got some very good base running instincts. Right-hander Tanaka checks the runner. They're already squaring to bunt, and he does a token toss over to first base, and getting back in time is Shudo. So Kawase already squaring to bunt here as he's hitting .232, as we said on the year, with those no homers and 14 RBIs. I don't know if he has become the third baseman by default for the Hawks. There was almost like an audition that was going on throughout the summer. A lot of players getting the chance to play third base. As here comes the pitch. It is bunted, and it's right down to the ground. It's fielded by Simitani. He throws it to first, and that is going to retire Kawase. That's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books 2-4 on the putout. Advancing into scoring position is Shudo. So one gone here, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, hitting .299 on the year with 21 homers and 81 runs driven in. I called the Hawks a couple of weeks ago, and we called them off and on over a little bit here through the month of September. And one of the things that I said is that Yanagita and Kondo, the 3-4 hitters, are really going to have to carry this ball club. They've got to get good production from them, not just getting to the playoffs, but if they do get in the playoffs, they're going to have to be important factors to carry the load. There's the first pitch to Yanagita. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the first base line, and the count is 0-1 to Yanagita. Both Kondo and Yanagita hitting exactly the same number, 299, but it has been Kondo who has had a little bit of a power surge this last little bit as he separated himself from his teammate. Kondo is tied for the league lead in home runs. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside. The count goes to 1-1 on Yanagita. I have to say, I really like Yanagita. He's getting a little long in the tooth, but on the wrong side of 30, one would say, but he still has a lot in him. He bats from that left side here against the right-handed throwing Tanaka. As Tanaka checks the runner at second. And now the pitch is on the way. It is a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. It's the bread and butter pitch of Masahiro Tanaka. The count now is 1-2. That fell right off the table. It looked like it was coming in knee-high, and not only that, also a little bit of speed taken off as it had Yanagita out in front. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yanagita. Runner at second, Shudo, 1 gone here in the bottom of the first. No score as the Hawks are batting here for the first time. Tanaka checks the runner at second, and he works to the set. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes even to 2-2 on Yanagita. As we said, Kensuke Kondo waits his turn on deck. And so the alarms usually are going off for Tanaka now after the 5th inning. As we said, he went 6+ his last start, but at 2 of the last 5 starts, he had to come out in the 5th. So we'll see how he's going to fare tonight. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up in shallow left field, and that ball's going to get down in front of the left fielder. I'm not sure what happened, and Shudo's going to come all the way around from second and score. It looked like the left fielder, Okajima, was going to make the catch. He had raised his glove as if he was going to make the catch, and the next thing you know, the ball plays ping pong in front of him. And Yanagita's aboard with a single. I don't know if he lost it in the roof at the PayPay Dome or what the problem was, but it looked like for all intents and purposes, he was going to get there. And the next thing you know, he played it into a hop. That's very, very strange. And Shudo comes around with the first run of the ball game, and the Hawks are on the board 1-0. So Yanagita gets himself a cheap RBI, and the look of disgust on Masahiro Tanaka's face is obvious. Not happy with the way that was played, and it is going to be a double there for Yanagita. So he is at second base, and it is now a 1-0 Hawk lead. The first pitch to Kondo is a split-figure pitch swung on and grounded foul on the first base side. The count is 0-1. Very strange. So no balls and a 1 strike to Kondo. Kondo, as we said, batting .299, as is his teammate Yanagita. 25 homers, 85 runs driven in. He leads the Pacific League in that department. Yanagita is second. And also in this game is Nastamura. He sits third. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 on Kondo. The only thing that the Eagles are missing is a running mate to go with Asamura. As we said, Shimochi and him were feeding off of each other last year. This year, it's only been the last month that Shimochi has sort of woken up as he's really played well. in the month of September and now leading into October. But certainly Kondo and Yanagita running well together here in the lineup, feeding off of one another. If they could get one more player to join that, it could be a very dangerous Hawks club should they get into the playoffs. So here comes the 0-2 offering as Tanaka holds set, checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the right side. That's going to be fielded by Asamura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Kondo. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 4-3. Advancing over to third is Yanagita, and that will bring up the first baseman, Akira Nakamura. And for Nakamura, he's batting .274 on the year, 5 homers and 36 runs driven in. He was missing some time from the lineup. A number of Hawks players had been in and out of the lineup. They had some nicks and bruises and some injuries. This is probably the strongest lineup that we've seen in the last little bit. There's a breaking ball that just misses. The home plate umpire flinched on that one. It looked like he was going to come up with the right hand. Instead, it is ball one here to Nakamura. Right-hander against the left-hander as Tanaka gets his sign from the veteran catcher Simatani. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that is going to score Yanagita from third as he trots home with the second run of the inning. And it is a 2-0 lead here for the Hawks in their half of the first. The RBI single here by Nakamura, and that will bring up the shortstop, Kenta Imamiya. So not quite the start that the Eagles were looking for tonight after putting a beatdown on the Buffaloes last night, 8-2 at the Kyocera Dome. It is the Hawks who are flapping their wings early here against the Eagles. So Imamiya steps to the plate. He's hitting .256. He's got 9 homers to go with 46 runs batted in. As the pitch from Tanaka is delivered, it's chopped over to short. Maribayashi fields it. He flips it over to the second baseman, Asamura, covering. That's going to go down as a fielder's choice. It'll be 6-4 in the books. That retires Nakamura for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Hawks. Well, the Hawks score first. There were 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 1 complete. Your score is Fukuoka 2, Tohoku 0. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. It is Eagles and Hawks from the PayPay Dome. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the second inning, and it is going to be Hideto Asamura, Takeru Okajima, and Toshiki Abe to come to bat here for the Eagles in their half of the inning. Asamura tonight batting .270 with 25 homers and 75 runs batted in. As the lefty Ozeki rocks into the windup and delivers. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away down the left field line. Count 0-1 here to Asamura. The other game we'll be keeping an eye on tonight is also in the Pacific League. It is the Marines and the Lions. There's already a lot of scoring in that game. The top of the first inning, the Lions scored a run. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded into the 6 hole into left field. Asamura is aboard with a leadoff single here, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Takara Okajima. So as we said, the Lions scored in the top of the first, and the Chibalote Marines have responded with two of their own in the bottom half. So a 2-1 lead in that one. Fighters and Buffaloes, it is a battle of worst versus first. Nothing really that will be on the line in that game, as both of those teams know their fate and outcome. The Buffaloes, of course, a couple of weeks ago had clinched the Pacific League. And the Fighters are in the basement, as they have been for quite a bit of the season. And the first pitch from Ozeki is a fastball that misses up for ball one, and the count is 1-0 to Okajima. So 1 ball and no strikes. Lefty-lefty matchup, as we said. Number of left-handers in the lineup for the Golden Eagles tonight. Against the left-handed slants of Ozeki, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Okajima hitting .264 on the year with those 6 homers and 41 runs driven in. Seems like the manager Ishii has settled on Okajima as the left fielder, as he has with Ogo in right field going the rest of the way. They've been getting a majority of the playing time. Fastball that comes in. Looked like it was a little bit low, but Takuya Kai was able to get underneath it and buy a strike for Okajima, or for Ozeki against Okajima. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Lefty Ozeki gets the sign from Takuya Kai. He checks the runner over at first. And now he delivers, and it is a fastball swung on as a lifted foul. Reached the seats down the third base line, and the count goes even to 2-2. Just as a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves with these same 2 teams tomorrow night. As we said, it's an important matchup here tonight. The Hawks are running out of games, as are the Eagles, but they've got 1 less game to play with. The Marines have 1 more than the Eagles do. So the playoff push is on here as they are jockeying, not just for positioning, but also for who's going to make the playoffs. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Okajima is down on strikes. He's gone for out number 1 here in the second inning. That's the second strikeout for Ozeki here tonight, as that will go in the books. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiki Abe. Looking ahead to tomorrow night, it is going to be Tsuyoshi Wada, the veteran, going for the Hawks, as he is going to be taking on Takahiro Norimoto. Will be going for the Golden Eagles. Norimoto has enjoyed a nice season this year. He's 8-6. As the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, the count is 1-0. His record maybe doesn't indicate as how well he has pitched. He hasn't had a ton of support at times from his offense. The other game that will go off tomorrow night, it'll be the Marines and the Lions, as it'll be Wataru Matsumoto going for the Lions, and he'll be going head-to-head against Yuki Karakawa for the Marines. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-1 on Abe. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Ozeki ready to go again. He gets his sign from his catcher, Takuya Kai. 20 pitches already here for the left-hander. As we are in the second inning, here comes the pitch. That is a fastball. Catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ozeki has been all around the zone tonight. We get a look at the overhead replay. That was a great pitch on the outside corner. Painting the corners here against Abe. We'll see how they set him up. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Looks like they're going away again. And it is a breaking ball that Abe just flicks his wrists at, and he gets rid of that one as it reaches the stands beyond the first base dugout. The count remains at 1-2. Good approach at the plate, just trying to spoil the pitch to get something he can handle. 2-0 Hawks have the lead here in the top of the second inning. They got 2 in the bottom half of the first. As the lefty ready to deliver, and there is a breaking ball that just misses inside. They appeal over to the first base umpire. But they say Abby didn't go. It's going to run the count to 2-2. In that ball game in Chiba, the Lions got a run from Sadaway, solo shot in the first inning. And then it was Shin Ishikawa for the Marines who had a 2-run shot in the bottom half. So they traded home runs in that one. The only difference was is the Marines had a runner aboard. So here comes the 2-2. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 3-2 on Abby. Well, we'll keep an eye on Asamura. He is not as fleet as foot as he once was. He's only got a couple of stolen bases this year. But sometimes the manager may put them in motion to try to stay out of the double play. So we'll keep our eyes peeled here as Abby bats here with a 3-2 count. He waggles the bat. So Zeki looks in and gets his sign from the catcher Kai as he works set. Here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. They did send the runner as we anticipated, but they're not going to be able to throw him out as that's going to be ball 4, and Asamura will get to second base regardless. So Abby is aboard, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. So Tatsumi batting .261 on the year. He's got 8 homers and 39 runs driven in. Get the opportunity here to try to do some damage. He also bats from the left side. As we said, as much of the hitters in the lineup tonight are doing for the Golden Eagles. 5 left-handed hitters to face the lefty here. As the lefty Ozeki works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is hit through the 4-hole into right field. Yeah, Nagita bobbles it, and now he's going to have to come up throwing, but they've already held Asamura up at third. Oh, if they would have had a chance there, they would have had a chance not just to test the arm, but on the bobble. But a single by Tatsumi, that's going to load the bases. That's going to bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Simatani. I was thinking about this before the game. I wondered if Simatani would have a part to play in this. It's been Oda behind the plate, as we saw him last night. We've also seen Yasuda behind the plate, but really haven't seen Jinjiro Simatani in a while when we've called the Eagle games. So here we are in a situation. The former Yomiuri Giant steps to the plate, bases loaded, and 1 gone, with a chance to get a run or maybe more back for the Golden Eagles. Asamura, the runner at third. Abby, the runner at second. Tatsumi, the runner at first. The lefty Ozeki kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Simatani only hitting .228 on the year with a homer and 10 RBIs. He has had half of the production or the output that he had last year. Last year, he had 288 plate appearances. This year, he's at 140. He will be working about half as much as he was when he had first come to Tohoku a couple of years ago. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes even to 1-1. That pitch there, the pitch was away, and it looked like he tried to pull the pitch. Not a good decision there. Should have went the other way with it, but that was a really long swing there by the catcher. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see how Takuya Kai calls it here to try to set him up. You go back, Simatani began his career way back in 2006 with the Saitama Cebu Lions. As the 1-1 is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and fouled off the glove of the catcher Kai, and the count goes to 1-2. From 2006 to 2018, he was with the Saitama Ball Club. Arguably, his best years came between 2009 and 2017. He only played 1 game with the Lions in 2010. But then he went to the Yomiuri Giants for 3 seasons. And then he showed up in Tohoku in 2021. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Ozeki delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. A good stop there by the catcher, Kai. Rolls around on the ground. Now the count goes to 2-2. That was a split finger from lefty. I can't recall Major League Baseball left-handers throwing a splitter. It always throws me for a loop when I see a Japanese pitcher do it because I don't expect it from the lefties. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Simatani. Eagles looking to get one back. It's always something, we talk about this before. When you put up some runs in an inning, you need your pitcher to come back and put up a 0. And this would be a momentum changer the other way. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's line foul just past the bag at first base. Oh, Simatani put a charge into that one. If that would have been a little bit more straighter, it probably would have scored 2, if not 3 runs if it would have went into the corner. Not a huge traveling contingent of Tohoku fans as they are in the northeast of the country. And of course, Fukuoka down in the western part, or the southwest, I guess you would say geographically, from where Tohoku is located in the Sendai region. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As the pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined softly to the second baseman, Momori. He steps on the bag at second. I don't know what we're going to call here, but we've had a collision and we might have something to look at. So I don't know if he caught the ball in the air. Then they went to step on the bag at second. They threw it back to first. It's going to be a double play. So it looks like that is the line out. The runner at first ended up going back to the bag, but he hit the ball. It was a looping liner. And regardless, that is the way it's going to be retired. It looks like it is going to go as a 4-3 putout on the double play. And that will retire Simatani for the 3rd out of the inning. And that retires Tatsumi over at second base as well for the 2nd out. Well, that does it there for the Golden Eagles. They had no runs in the inning. There was a couple of hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Your score is the Hawks 2 and the Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Whether you listen live or on delay, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the 2nd inning, and it is going to be Tetsuro Yanagamachi, Masaki Momori, and Takuya Kai to come to bat. Face Masahiro Tanaka, and the first pitch is swung on, and this ball is driven into the opposite field gap into left center field. It's going to get down off the wall. Fielding it is Tatsumi. He fires it into the shortstop, who's the cutoff Murray Biashi, and he's going to run it into the infield, but it's going to be a leadoff double here for Yanagamachi. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori. Well, the Hawks scored 2 runs in their half of the 1st inning on the benefit of 3 hits, and they're back at it again here in the 2nd. Yanagamachi with a leadoff double. That brings up Momori to the plate, hitting .259 on the season with 5 homers and 21 runs driven in. Seems like the manager, Fujimoto, has felt that the 8th spot is where Momori should be landing right now. He's already squaring to bunt here with the runner at second. And Tanaka holding set Here's the pitch. It is bunted foul down over on the third base side. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. As we mentioned, it'll be the same two teams tomorrow night, as we'll keep an eye on this series here. It's a 2-game mini set. They will play against each other on the weekend next weekend, as the Golden Eagles will be the host in that one, as they're wrapping up some games here from the rainouts and the canceled games earlier in the year. There was a fastball that is bunted at, but missed by Momori, and the count now goes to 0-2. He bunted right through that pitch. It looked like it was a split finger pitch that fell off the table. So 2 strikes here to Momori. Right-hander Tanaka ready to go to work again. Gets his sign from his catcher as he works himself to the set position. He checks the runner over at second, Yanagamachi, and here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. A fastball misses down. A nice stop there by the catcher, Sumitani. Runs the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, Momori was hitting in the top of the order. He was kind of the running mate with Shudo, hitting 1-2. He got off to a slow start, as did Shudo. But he has picked up his slack, as we said, hitting almost 260 now. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and is tapped foul right at home plate. And the count remains at 1-2 to Momori. Momori, a left-handed hitter. Kind of a taller and lankier fella, not quite the what I would call the prototypical second base look. Nato Asamura a little bit more that way. He's more stocky. Certain players that fill that bill would be Shugo Maki for Yokohama. He's built like a fire hydrant with arms. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. It's grounded over to the right side, fielded by Asamura. He throws to first. That's going to retire Momori on a ground out 4-3. He'll get some high fives in the dugout for that, as Yanagamachi is going to advance over to third. That's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Takuya Kai, he is hitting 203 on the year. He's got 10 homers and 41 RBIs. 3 players in the Hawks lineup with double-digit home runs. Obviously, Kai, as we just mentioned, Yanagita and Kondo, the other 2. On the cusp of it is Kenta Imamiya. You didn't expect the shortstop to be flexing his muscle as much as he has, but he certainly has done that this year. He's coming off a season where he did fairly well last year, too. Of course, Imamiya is the Pacific League all-time leader in sacrifice bunts. So the infield is in for the Golden Eagles as Kai is at the plate here. And here comes the first pitch from Tanaka, and it's a pitch out. I guess they thought that maybe the squeeze could be on, and it's going to be 1 ball and no strikes to Kai. Reading the hands here to see what they have in store for them, even if it was a safety squeeze. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander Tanaka looks in and gets his sign from his catcher Sumitani. 2-0 here for the Hawks as they bat in the last half of the second inning. As Tanaka kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say that Kai did not go around. Count is now 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. The cards are all in the favor right now of the Hawks, at least offensively here with Kai at the plate. There's a lot of options that they could do. As we said, they're concerned about maybe a bunt or some side of maybe even the contact play here could play into their favor. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, and it is hit foul just past the bag at third base. Kobakata dove as that ball there. He wouldn't have made the play there. We're going to look at that one again, and it almost hit the runner, as it was Yanagamachi who had to do a little hopscotch to get out of the way. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Kai. On top of that, so did the umpire have to make the call and get out of the way as well. So 2 balls and 1 strike. That's the right-handed hitting catcher waiting here on the offering from the pitcher Masahiro Tanaka. And the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle. The bat's been broken. It is fielded by the shortstop Murray Biashi. He throws it up the line. Coming off the bag to make the tag is Abbey. That's going to go down as a ground out. And that is going to get a run in here for the 3rd run of the ball game, but had to avoid the bat as it had blown up in the hands of Kai. We'll get a look at the replay again on that one. That ball was hit up the middle past the glove of Tanaka. Nice play by Murray Biashi. The shortstop to field it moving to his left. That's going to retire Kai for the 2nd out, but it's going to increase the lead to 3-0. It'll bring up the center fielder and the leadoff hitter, Yukio Shudo. So again, the Hawks are flapping their wings as they've taken a 3-0 lead, and there's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Shudo tonight 1 for 1. He has also scored a run. There's a breaking ball that just misses low, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawks trying to put the pressure on the Golden Eagles here as there's a breaking ball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. I have to say that the Golden Eagles here don't want to let the Hawks get too far ahead. 1-2 pitch is ready to go. There's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. Count remains at 1-2 to Shudo. One thing I say about the Japanese hitters is they do a great job of flicking balls away, especially with 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by Asamura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Shudo for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Hawks get a little bit more done here as that goes in the books. Ground out 4-3. They got a run in the inning. The leadoff double by Yanagamachi. He was brought home on a ground out by Takuya Kai. There was no errors, and there was nobody left on base. Your score as we head to the top of the 3rd. It is the Hawks 3 and the Eagles no score. Stay with us, everybody. Appreciate you being with us, whether you're live or on delay. Thank you for listening in here tonight. Your score, 3-0 for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the 3rd inning, and the Eagles are sending back the 9-1-2 hitters. That'll be Itsuki Muribayashi, Hiroto Kobakata, and Yuya Ogo to face the left-hander Tomohisa Ozeki, who's ready to begin his 3rd inning of work. Muribayashi on the season hitting .261, a couple of homers and 30 runs batted in. As we were saying earlier, it was Kobakata the last couple of years who had kind of been the shortstop for the Golden Eagles, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Although last year Yamazaki also got his opportunities at short. but they have seemed to have settled on Moribayashi. But Kobakata in the lineup as the third baseman here tonight as the fastball is taken for a called strike. I've got it at no balls and 2 strikes here to Moribayashi. Got to keep my eye on the Fukuoka scorekeeper. They're always a little bit behind. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Moribayashi goes down on strikes. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. It's the third strikeout here tonight for Ozeki. That ball was short hopped by the catcher, Kai. But the shortstop, Moribayashi, just turned and did a 180 back to the dugout as he is gone for the first out of the inning. That brings up the aforementioned Hiroto Kobakata. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He had a ball to deep center field his first time up that was tracked down by Shudo, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kobakata, as we said at the outset, he's hitting .264 with the 5 homers and 37 stolen bases. Breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. He is leading the Pacific League with Yukio Shudo in hot pursuit behind him. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hiroto Kobakata. Ozeki rocking into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side of the infield, fielded neatly by Mamori. He throws to first, and that is going to put Kobakata in the books on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away here in the third inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. If I had to say something about the Hawks, their Achilles heel this year, I saw somebody on Twitter posted, actually responded to somebody. I don't usually send a lot of tweets out. And I was saying, well, what are the things the Hawks are going to have to do next season if they want to get back on top in the Pacific? Ogo bats here. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up, and he takes a first pitch fastball low and away for a ball, and the count is 1-0. The first thing I said they've got to do is they've got to start doing a better job of evaluating the import players. Certainly, Willens Astudillo hasn't given them the impact they wanted. There's a fastball that misses up, and the count is 2-0. Courtney Hawkins has been pretty much been stuck down on the farm the whole year. On top of it, you also have Freddie Galvis. That's turned out to be a bad signing for the Hawks. Hasn't really produced at the NPB level. As the 2-0 is on the way, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Ogo. And then they brought back Alfredo Despania, who, for all intents and purposes, had a nice career with the Hawks, but he was done. And then they brought him back, and he still looks done. There's the fastball that swung on, and it is lifted foul down the left field line, and the count now is 2-2. So that is the first thing they need to do. The second thing they need to do is probably go out and add another starting pitcher or even 2. I'm not sure how the Mori experiment has worked out for the whole year. Hasn't had a ton of starts. Yuta Mori. Fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Ogo. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So those are the 2 things that they really need. And then they've got to figure out the third base position. So after Nobuhiro Matsuda left last year, there's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Ogo goes down looking. He's on for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Eagles in their half of the third. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score now as we cruise to the bottom of the third inning. It is a 3-0 ball game for the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the third in just a couple minutes after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out. Let him know that Last Raps Baseball pointed you in his direction. Well, it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the third inning. Kawase, Yanagita, and Kondo to face the right-hander Masahiro Tanaka, who has struggled in his first couple of innings of work. He's allowed 3 runs on 4 hits so far. As we are ready to resume the action as the brass for the Hawks look on. Tanaka reaches down for the rosin bag, gets some rosin here before he faces Kawase. Kawase had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. So no official at bat yet in this one as he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Kawase hitting .232 on the year with those no homers and 14 runs driven in. Fastball swung on it is lifted into shallow left center field. Drifting over to his left and making the catch is Takara Okajima, and that's going to retire Kawase for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a double and an RBI his first time up. It was a bit of a strange play. As we had mentioned, it was a fly ball into left field, and it looked like that Okajima was going to make the catch. It ended up bouncing in front of him. He had his glove up, and next thing you know, it allowed Shudo to come around to score the first run of the ball game. Well, the first pitch delivered is a fastball that misses outside. Count is 1-0 to Yanagita. That RBI, Yanagita now has 82 on the season. Here's the 1-0. A split finger pitch waved at it, missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tanaka ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher, Simitani, and he rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's line foul down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Yanagita. Yanagita waggling his bat and waiting here on the offering. He has it up right up about just a little bit above his shoulders. He keeps his hands relatively high. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's the split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. As we said, we'll be keeping our eyes on that out-of-town scoreboard. As the 2-2 is delivered, it's a fastball swung on, grounded to the right side of the infield. Fielded by Asamura, he throws to first. Yanagita's in the books on a ground out 4-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter, Kazuki Kondo. Still 2-1 in that game in the top of the third for the Marines. And it is now a 2-0 lead for the Buffaloes over the Fighters. That's in the bottom of the second at the Kyocera Dome. But as we said, that game really doesn't have a whole lot of bearing as it is worst versus first. Here's the first pitch swung on. It is grounded back to the pitcher, is kicked by Tanaka into the air, fielded by Kobakata, and that is going to bring out the trainer and the manager, and they're going to come out and have a look at Tanaka. The ball was hit right back up the middle off the bat of Kondo, and it was the pitcher Tanaka who stuck his foot out. As he stuck his left foot out, the ball popped up into the air toward the shortstop side. So they often tell pitchers not to touch it, but he's going to walk off the field. They're going to go take a look at him. Going to see how he's going to have a look here. And we'll have ourselves a little delay as he goes into the locker room. This might be the best thing that happens to the Golden Eagle pitcher. Maybe it shakes him up a little bit. He comes back and pitches really well the rest of the way. But it is going to be a base hit here for Kondo. That's going to be a single for him. as it is going to be Tanaka heading down the tunnels. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. It is a 3-0 ball game in the bottom of the third. We're going to have ourselves a little delay as they go and take a look at the pitcher. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We got a little delay in the action here as it is Masahiro Tanaka who has gone down the tunnel so they could take a look at his ankle where the ball had deflected off of him and popped it up into the air as Kazuki Kondo's got his first hit of the evening. He is aboard here with 2 out. It'll be Akira Nakamura to come to the plate once they make the determination if Masahiro Tanaka is good to go. And sure enough, there he is. He comes running right back out of the dugout like nothing has happened. As he will get the ball from the home plate umpire and will be ready to go back to work. So Akira Nakamura coming to the plate. He is 1 for 1 in this game. He had a single his last time up. He also knocked in the runner Yuki Yanagita in the last half or in the first inning. So it is Nakamura striding to the plate as Tanaka has a couple of warm-up tosses here to ensure that he is really good to go. All I keep thinking about was, I think it was Charlie Morton, was it last year or 2 years ago when he had the broken leg? 2 years ago, I think when they won the World Series, he got hit with a comebacker, had his leg broken, and continued to pitch for another 10 more pitches after that, and walked off the mound. That was, of course, for the Atlanta Braves when they won their World Series. Like nothing had happened. So, runner at first caught out. Nakamura ready to face the first offering here from the right-hander Nakamura. And the pitch on the way, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakamura batting from the left side here against the right-hander Tanaka, who gets his sign from Simatani, and he's ready to deliver again. As the pitch is ready to come, here comes the offering. And it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tanaka again gets his sign from his catcher. As I said, if you want a big game pitcher, usually this is the one you want on the mound here in Tanaka. He proved it not just in the NPB, but also in the major leagues. There's a fastball swung out. It's grounded to the right side, fielded by Asamura. They go over to second for the fielder's choice, and that is going to retire Kondo at second. It's going to be 4-6 on the putout. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Hawks in their half of the 3rd. So we got a 1/3 of the ball game in the books. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 4th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 3. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles no score. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Scoreline is 3-0 for the Hawks. We'll be back in just a bit.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right. if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the fourth inning, and coming to bat for the Golden Eagles will be Hiroki Shimouchi, Hideo Asamura, and Takira Okajima, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Golden Eagles. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Shimouchi. Shimouchi 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the first baseman, who flipped it to the pitcher, covering his first time up. As the lefty Ozeki rocks into the windup and delivers, it is a fastball that misses way outside. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Shimouchi. Lefty-lefty matchup, as Ozeki has been very good through the first 3 innings of work here tonight for the Hawks. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now runs to 1-2 on Shimouchi. Ozeki has struggled at times this year with his control and certainly with his walks, as he has 34 walks in his 99 innings, but at other times he's been absolutely dominant, which has balanced out his numbers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shimouchi. Left-handed hitting. A designated hitter waggles his bat, waiting on the offering from the lefty, who rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the third base line. Giving chase is Kawase. He's going to watch it sail into that temporary seating. Keeps the count at 2-2. Shimouchi, as we had said before, off to a really rough start in this season. And we were talking about it in the stream last night. He was not offered a contract extension, and I'm not sure if how that affected him. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped foul right in front of home plate. Takuya Kai on it like a cat. Thought it might have been in fair territory, but the home plate umpire said it was a foul ball, and the count remains at 2-2. And you wonder sometimes if it's Shimouchi maybe pouting or maybe possibly not happy with the situation, as they aren't going to talk about an extension until the end of the year. This is the only team he's known, and he has provided them some great play over the last few years. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over and making the catch on the run is Yanagamachi. That is going to retire Shimouchi for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. Just to finish off the thoughts on Shimouchi. Obviously, he is getting a little bit older and on the wrong side of 30, but has still shown in the last couple of years to be a very productive player and a tough out. Well, that brings Hideo Asamura to the plate. Asamura tonight is 1 for 1. He has got a .271 batting average as he takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He's got those 25 homers and 75 runs driven in, as he waits on the offering from Sorry about that, everybody. We lost ourselves there for just a moment. That ball was lined into center field for a base hit, as Hideo Asamura is aboard with a single here. That is the technical department here on the YouTube channel that got us a little bit of rise. So Asamura aboard with a single, and that is going to bring up the left fielder Takira Okajima. Well, for Okajima tonight, he's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. So he bats here with the runner at first and 1 gone. As the lefty Ozeki ready to go again. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base spine by the first base coach. So no balls and 1 strike to Okajima. Lefty Ozeki's been very effective tonight in his work. As we said, keeping the hitters off balance. His breaking ball has been effective as well, especially to the lefties. It's not a 12-6. It's more of a sweeping pitch, like a bit of a slider or a slurve, as there's a fastball that misses down and the count goes to 1-1. It is more of a sweeping type pitch, as I say, and it's something that the left-handed batters, when they get 2 strikes on them, they try to protect, and they get up out in front and they wave at it. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is here to Okajima. As the lefty Ozeki ready to go. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the line in left field, giving chase his Kondo. He leaps, but he's not going to get it as it goes into that temporary seating. Check that. It's not Kondo. It's Yanagamachi, sorry. As he is the left fielder tonight. That's going to run the count to 1-2. The temporary seating, it's pretty much in all the ballparks that I attended last month, and also in the month of September. Probably the only park that I can't remember it at would have been the Hodomoto Field in Kobe. But all the other stadiums have this temporary seating. It's like an addition to where they were. It's bringing the fans closer to the play, which is great. Seating them in front of the netting, which is also interesting. As the 1-2 is on the way, it's a fastball ticket for a called third strike. Okajima stood there and watched that one go by. He's gone for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up the first baseman, Toshiki Abe. Just finishing off the thoughts about that temporary seating. As we said, what they do is they've got it set up where the fans are pretty close to the field, but it's also got rid of a lot of foul territory. So from pretty much just behind third base down into the left field corner, you might only have 6-8 feet of foul territory before you run into that wall. So here comes the first offering from the lefty Ozeki. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Curious to see how next year is going to work out. If you're not aware, the NPB has voted to add 2 additional farm teams. Now, as of right now, there's no thoughts of expanding the NPB from 12 to 14 teams, but you have to think they're going to be going in that direction eventually. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. There was talk a few years ago that Okinawa was going to get themselves an NPB team. It was going to be called the Blue Ocean. But that did not come to fruition, and of course, that was pre-pandemic. But with the addition of 2 farm teams and the 2 ownership groups, I guess there were a number of people, 3 or 4, 5 organizations had applied. As the 0-2 is on the way, it's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-2. So what does that mean? Well, by the sound of it is that there's just an extra pool of players to be able to have them develop and play against each other. And that way there, if a team wants to purchase a player, there are options for that as well. I was just catching up on some of that before the game, and I haven't done all the reading on that, but it sounds like it could be something that could be fascinating. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2 on Abe. So getting that opportunity to be able to play and the NPB and maybe developing more players, not just with the farm team, but the philosophies of those independent teams will be also on display. How they will play maybe a little differently. When you think of the Hawks or you think of the Eagles, they would have an organizational philosophy from top to bottom. Independent teams, of course, would be a little bit different. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side of the infield. Mamori fields it. He throws to first, and Nakamura picks it out of the dirt. That's going to retire Abe on a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. That's going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the fourth. While they had no runs, they did have a hit. No errors, and they stranded one. You're now moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Your score is the Hawks 3 and the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. It is going to be Kenta Imamiya, Tetsuro Yanagamachi, and Masaki Momori, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks. And it is a 3-0 lead here for Fukuoka, as they will take their turn to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2 runs in the first inning on the benefit of 3 hits. Shudo and Yanagita came home with the first 2 runs. And then it was Yanagamachi's double in the second and eventually brought home by Takuya Kai. And have given the Golden Eagles the deficit, which the Hawks are enjoying with a 3-0 lead. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses to Imamiya for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Imamiya tonight bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up, as he takes a breaking ball outside and for a called, or on the outside corner for a called strike. And the count is 1-1. Tanaka rocking into the windup. He's got a little bit of rhythm going now as he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. He has been able to retire 6 of the last 7 batters that he has faced. In that last half inning, it was the ball by Kondo hit right back at him that they were concerned about off the ankle. And there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded back to Tanaka. He fields it easily and throws to first. It's going to go in the books as a ground out 1-3, as Imamiya is gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the left fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Well, for Yanagamachi, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a double in his only trip. That's from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Tanaka, who rocks into the windup and delivers a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yanagamachi has that double, as we said, in his last time up. He's also scored a run. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball misses down, and it's now 2-0 to Yanagamachi. So 2 balls and no strikes. Tanaka rocking into the windup, and he kicks and delivers a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Season coming to an end here in the NPB. About a week left of games, and it'll be a playoff time. We'll be in there for all the action for that, as there's a fastball that misses up, and the count is now 3-1. There are not too many games left, and in fact, some of the teams in the NPB have already completed their season, such as the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4, as Yanagamachi is going to be aboard with a 1-0 walk, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori. The Lions and the Fighters are the next closest to complete the schedule in the Pacific League, as both teams are playing tonight, as they will be at 142 games after tonight's games. If we look over at the Central League, the Tigers and the Bay Stars and the Dragons and the Swallows all have 1 game left in their season. The Murray Giants have 2 games left in theirs. Of course, they are out of the playoff hunt. The Bay Stars are currently tied with the Carp, as the pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now is 0-1 to Momori. So the Carp has a tie, as they both sit 12 back. So the Bay Stars will dictate what happens in their next game, if they are going to be the hosts or if they are going to be the ones that are going to be traveling to Hiroshima to play their series. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-2 to Momori. So I'll be curious to see how that will shape up. So no balls and 2 strikes. 1 gone here with the runner at first, Yanagamachi, as Tanaka working himself to the set position. Here comes the 0-2. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It's a defensive swing by Momori, and he fouls it off over past the third base coach's box. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. once the season is done, we have kicked around the idea, but it looks like we're going to come to fruition starting in November. We're going to be doing a sort of a hour-long podcast each week where we will run ourselves and give ourselves a opportunity to do some baseball talk during the winter, some hot stove, and talk about the weekly news and events around the NPB. As that fastball misses outside, the count is 1-2. Trying to keep up on all the happenings, the signings, everything else that comes and goes across the great game in Japan. The Thunder Sticks are in full effect in the PayPay Dome tonight as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Yanagamachi. Yanagamachi only has 2 stolen bases on the year, but he can run from time to time. He does have some, I would say, some wheels, but he can move fairly well. He's not always in the position where he can run. You have to get on base to be able to do that. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball and is lifted foul into the temporary seating down the third base line. And the count remains still at 1-2 to Momori. After the 5th inning, as we normally do, we will take an extended break because we like to call it our Japanese halftime. That is where the game takes a little bit of an extended break. They come out and they clean the field and they do what they have to do before they resume the action. Little drinks break for the officials as here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined to the second baseman, Asamura, as he leaps and makes the catch. Oh, Yanagamachi did a good job of getting back to first base. But Momori hit that ball surprisingly hard. And he almost got past the outstretched glove of Asamura. So that is going to retire him for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Kai, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He's grounded to the shortstop his only time up, as he bats here with 2 gone in the 4th inning. Right-hander Tanaka holding set. Kai waiting on the offering. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats behind the first base dugout. The count is quickly 0-1. Kai grounded out to the shortstop his first time up, but he cashed a run in for the Hawks. It was the 3rd run of the ball game that they were able to score. Increased his RBI total to 42 on the year. So no balls and 1 strike. Tanaka holding to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Kai. Of course, Kai is not known for his bat as much as he is for his defensive prowess and his glove. He is a great defender. So no balls and 2 strikes to Kai. The runner at first is Yanagamachi. 2 gone here in the last half of the 4th inning as the right-hander Tanaka delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Held on to by Simatani, and that is going to put Kai in the books for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is, by our accounts, the first strike of the ball game here for Tanaka. No runs, no hits, no errors, but there was a runner left aboard here in the 4th. We are now through 4 complete. Your score is the Hawks 3 and the Eagles no score. Hang in here with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Golden Eagles in their half of the 5th inning. It'll be Ryosuke Tatsumi, Jinjiro Sumitani, and Itsuki Moribayashi to face the left-hander Tomohisa Ozaki, who has been really good in his first 4 innings of work. He has, on the evening, by our accounts, he's got 5 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. He's only scattered 3 hits by the Golden Eagles, and they haven't been able to string them together. So this is going to be Tatsumi to come to the plate. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a single his first time up. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It is taken on 1 hop by the first baseman, Nakamura. And he steps on the base. And that's going to retire Tatsumi with 1 pitch. There's 1 away here in the 5th. That'll bring up the catcher, Jinjiro Sumitani. And for some of our listeners, it is the 5th inning that is the moving inning, where people will have the over and the under in this game here. And if you would have told me that the Hawks would be shut out, or the Eagles would be shut out through the first 4 1/3 innings, I don't think I would have believed you. Ozaki has been brilliant here tonight for Fukuoka. Here's the pitch. Fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Jinjiro Sumitani. Sumitani waggling the bat here as the lefty rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. And there's a fastball that misses down and in. And the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. My only thought is on the podcast, if we're going to run something like that, as we were talking about in the last half inning, is when we would do it. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2 on Sumitani. Just the timing of the day. Our North American audience, of course, would be more awake in the daytime. But then our late night audience, especially on the weekends, who generally come in and listen on a Friday night or a Saturday, would be an option as well. There's a pitch that's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Sumitani. We are yet to decide on what we're going to do with that. I haven't quite made up our minds. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the other thing is we thought about maybe pre-recording the broadcast and then maybe even launching it out at that time, even though we may not be around. There's a fastball swung on and grounded, foul over on the third base line, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. So that could also be an option as well. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sumitani. As the lefty Ozaki ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher Kai, and he rocks into the delivery. And the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded to third. What a play by Kawase, diving to his left. He fields it on his knees. He gets up and makes the throw, and that is going to retire Sumitani. Oh, that was wizardry glove work there by the third baseman. Ground out 5-3, retiring Sumitani for the 2nd out of the inning. That is going to bring up the shortstop Itsuki Moribayashi. Well, for Moribayashi, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. As the first offering here from Ozaki on the way, it's a fastball that just misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb is if you can get through the first 90 minutes for the first 5 innings, you're doing pretty good. As that was the fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Surprisingly, for as few base runners as there has been at times in this game, it's kind of skipping along a little bit slowly. Ozaki has had 2 3-up, 3-down innings in the games. It has been the odd-numbered innings, the first and the third. Only time he found himself in trouble was when he loaded the bases in inning number 2. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's hammered into the seats, foul on the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Moribayashi. But for the most part, it has been not a lot of runners, and when there have been runners, they have scored quickly, much like the Hawks in the first inning and also in the second inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Another great play by Kawase. He does a 360 and he throws to first. And that's going to retire Moribayashi on a ground out 5-3. Two great plays by the third baseman of the Hawks, back-to-back here. And that is going to do it for the Eagles in their half of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're moving to the last half of the fifth inning. Your score is the Hawks 3 and the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with the call in just a few right after this. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the fifth inning. It'll be the top of the order to come to bat for the Hawks. That means Yukio Shudo, Hikaru Kawase, and Yuki Yanagita to face the right-hander Masahiro Tanaka, who is coming on for his fifth inning of work. It is a 3-0 lead here for the Hawks as we go to the last half of the fifth. It scored 2 runs in the first and added another in the second. That is where we stand here, a 3-0 ball game. 3-5-0 for the Hawks, 0-3-0 for the Golden Eagles. That is your line score in this one. And so stepping up to bat here is the speedy Shudo, who is 1 for 2 here tonight against the right-hander Tanaka, who kicks and delivers. The first pitch is a fastball that misses up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Shudo waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering, and it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now is even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Tanaka getting his sign. He's ready to go back to work. Here comes the offering now to Shudo. He kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Moving over to his right toward the foul line is Takeru Okajima, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Shudo for the first out of the inning. So it's important to keep that one off the base paths. As we said before, Shudo can, once he gets on, he can manufacture some runs. So he's gone for the first out of the inning, and it's going to bring up Hikaru Kawase to the plate. Kawase 0 for 1 tonight. He has also had a sacrifice bunt. As the pitch is on the way, he squares to bunt, and he drops it down the third baseline, but it's going to roll foul. It's going to run the count quickly to 0-1 on Kawase. 58 pitches through the first 4 innings for Masahiro Tanaka. As we said before, you have to keep an eye on him after he gets through the 5th normally. That's where you have to get on high alert. He has gone at least 5 innings at each of his last 5 starts, but there is a 1 inning where it just starts to get away on him pretty quickly. He went 5+ in his last start. So no balls and 1 strike to Kawase as he bats here against Tanaka. As the right-hander gets his sign and he rocks into the motion, he kicks and he fires. Fastball missing down, and the count now is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the other thing is we mentioned about Shudo. Once he gets on the bases, he can get around, but keeping Shudo and Kawase off the bases is most important because of Yanagita and Kondo. They can set the table. You've got some bangers in the middle of the order, and there's a bunt down the third base line, and this one's going to go foul. So Kawase again trying to bunt. Now that runs the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yanagita waits his turn on deck. It was a good idea there by Kawase, and both times they thought they may have had Kobakata on his heels. And again, Kawase trying to manufacture something. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tanaka gets himself a new baseball. He gets the rosin bag, lathers himself up, and he's ready to go again. Here comes the 1-2 as he rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. And the pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Kawase. As we were saying at the beginning, really last year when Nobuhiro Matsuda left the Hawks, he was kind of their mainstay over the last decade or so at third base. He was definitely getting to be in the twilight of his career. Should have probably retired a Hawk. It was announced that he is going to retire from the Amuri Giants last week. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped over to second, fielded by Asamura. He throws to first. He's going to retire Kawase at a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the ranked fielder Yuki Yanagita. But the other piece that was mentioned about Matsuda is that he did retire, or is going to retire at season's end. But the Hawks have never really done the job of replacing the third baseman. It was Kuriyama who had started the year this year. And then we saw some Yukio Shudo over there. We also saw Richard. Now, of course, Kawase. So we've had a number of different players holding down that third base position. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed by Yanagita, and the count is quickly 0-1. So as I mentioned, they've got to do something at that spot. Whether if they're going to bring in an import player, they've got to bring in a third baseman, or they're going to have to hope that one of these players that they are rotating around, the homegrowns, are going to be able to fill that void. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-1. When I think of positional players in the NPB, I think of there are some solid outfielders. There's some good second basemen. You've got some decent first basemen. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted deep down the line in left field. It's going to be playable, and it is going to be cut by Okajima, and that's going to do it as Yanagita is gone for the third out. I'll come back with my thoughts on that when we return after our what we call our Japanese halftime. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the 6th, it is a 3-0 ball game. We're going to put the music on loop. We're going to take ourselves a little break, as it is going to be a extended break here in between the innings. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight. Your score is 3-0 for the Hawks, and we'll be back in just a bit with all the action when we return.
Hello guys, thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be going to the top of the sixth inning in just a few moments, as this game here, as we like to call it, our Japanese halftime. It is an extended break between the fifth and the sixth inning in the Pacific League, as it is a 3-0 ball game that we have on our hands here. Just checking the out-of-town scoreboard, and the game that means something, it is a 4-2 lead for the Marines over the Lions. So if the scores here hold tonight, as the Hawks here have the lead, they will take a game lead over the Golden Eagles, and the Marines would jump into third place. There's a first pitch breaking ball delivered to Hiroto Kobakata. It's taken for a called strike, at the count is 0-1. Kobakata, the leadoff hitter in the ballgame, and also here in this inning, 0 for 2 tonight. Flown to center and grounded to second in his 2 trips. As the lefty Ozeki delivers, and Kobakata tries to bunt down the third base line. But that ball goes foul. The count now is 0-2. So Kawase trying to bunt on Kobakata, and then Kobakata trying to do the favor right back and bunt on Kawase. And neither one were successful. So no balls and 2 strikes to Kobakata, as he waits here on the delivery from the lefty Ozeki, who rocks into the windup. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And so that is the first hit of the game here for Kobakata. That's only the 4th hit tonight by the Eagles, after they had a barrage of hits last night against the Oryx Buffaloes. So Kobakata aboard. He is 1 for 3 in this one. And Yuya Ogo coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. So Ogo entered the fray hitting .265, but we've got a conference on the mound here as they've come out to talk to Ozeki. Curious to see what it is. It looks like they brought the trainer out there with them. This is the largest contingent seen on the mound. They've got the pitching coach, they've got the trainer, they got the entire infield, the catcher. And he's nodding and saying he's pretty good. I don't know why the trainer went out there as well and why the rest of the infield would be there. But just hang tight for a second. We're going to see what's going to happen here. Ozeki's coming off the field. But we're going to take him down into the training room, and we're going to see if we're going to have ourselves a change here. Well, this is an interesting development. And by the looks of it, it makes me wonder if he's got a blister, because he's been absolutely electric here tonight. They're going to go down and have a peek at him here. The trainer who went out with him, he's relaying the information here to Fujimoto. So we're going to have a little break in the action. That could not be a worst case scenario here for the Hawks, as they are enjoying their 3-0 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. So the manager, Fujimoto, goes down the tunnel as well. Do you have a look to see what's going on? As certainly the Hawks bullpen is pretty solid. I haven't checked the game sheet tonight, obviously, with Roberto Osuna on the back end. He has been money in the 9th inning for Fukuoka this year. Some of the other pitchers that they have to offer, they do have Fuji on the game sheet tonight, so he would be a 8th inning guy. It looks like that manager Fujimoto is coming out, and that might be the end of the night for Ozeki there on the horn to the bullpen, as they do have a right-hander up and throwing. So we'll see how this is going to go. We're going to have ourselves a pitching change here, everybody, so hang tight. We'll see who they're going to be turning to, as it is a hurry-up call to the pen to get the pitcher ready here, as Ozeki's night looks like it is going to be done. It is an unfortunate turn of events for Fukuoka, as the lefty has been absolutely brilliant here tonight. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being with us.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rodmacher coming back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool to go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. It is going to be the right-hander, Katsuki Matayoshi, who is coming in on in relief. The one-time Chinichi Dragon is in his second year here with Fukuoka. He's going to be making his 30th appearance. He's got 2 wins and 2 losses. He's worked 25 and 2/3 innings. He's given up 21 hits. He has walked 9 and struck out 15. He's got an ERA of 2.45, does the 29-year-old. We've seen him pitch before. He has been, for the most part, pretty good for Fukuoka this year. We saw him get into a little bit of trouble a couple of outings ago, but for the most part, he is always around the zone, throws strikes, and he does seem to induce a lot of balls on the ground. So he is going to be taking over here for the left-hander Oseki. So I'm not sure how many warm-up tosses he'll get. If he is coming in because of the injury, then he'll get whatever he needs to get himself ready. And then we'll be ready to resume the action here as he's slated to face Yuya Ogo, but we'll keep an eye there as Ogo had struck out twice tonight, once swinging and once looking, and it looked like that possibly it was Ito moving into the on-deck circle. So we'll see. We'll get the official announcement here. And that's what it actually looks like here, is we are going to have a pinch hitter. This is going to be number 39. And this is going to be Ito, who is coming in to pinch hit for the Golden Eagles. So Yukiya Ito on here. He is batting .251 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. We'll see if he actually stays in the game or if they're going to have another replacement for Ogo. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ito. Matayoshi, the right-hander. As we said, he's a little on the slender side. And he does throw, now I wouldn't call it sidearm, but he would be very low 3/4. And he has a lot of sink sometimes on the ball that is able to keep that ball on the ground. The runner, Kobakata, is at first. He gets his lead, and here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, and it is lifted foul behind home plate. Now Ito is in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I would think in this situation, Kobakata may not necessarily be the threat to run as he went elsewhere. They're down by 3 runs right now, and that one runner into scoring position is not going to do a whole lot of help yet unless they can claw a couple of runs back. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander gets his sign. And now he works to the belt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, the miss is down and away, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Ito. As we mentioned, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow for these same 2 ball clubs. One team will be in third after this game, and as we said, if the scoreline holds up with the Marines, the other team will be out of the playoffs. So the Eagles will want to try to at least get a split in this series. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander works to the belt. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle. Mamori fields it, throws to Imamiya over to second for one. Back to first. That's going to be a double play. That's going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety. 2 for the price of 1 as Kobakata gone at second. Ito on the back end, and that is going to leave it up to the DH, Hiroki Shimouchi. Couldn't have asked for anything worse than that. The double play. What a nice job there by the Hawk defense. So Matayoshi doing his job here on in relief. I'd be curious to see if they work him for 1 or possibly 2 innings. Sometimes when we've seen Matayoshi before, he's come in and worked a couple innings. So we'll see how they decide to play it out here. Maybe they leave Fuji for the 8th and 9th inning for Osuna. There's a fastball that misses or catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1 here to Shimouchi. Shimouchi 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded out to first, and he is flown to left. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch from Matayoshi. There's a fastball that just misses outside. The count goes even at 1-1. Both of these teams were in different directions after the All-Star break. The Hawks have played well below 500. The Eagles are 5 games over 500 going into last night. I think there's 6 now officially. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by Mamori. Throws to first, and that is going to do it. He was a busy man this inning, Mamori. Ground out 4-3 to end the inning. No runs in the inning. There was the hit by Kobakata. Of course, was erased in a double play, and there was nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the last half of the 6th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 3 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles no score. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. The call after this.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Appreciate you, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to go check him out. Let him know that Last Raps Baseball sent you. It is going to be playoff time in the MLB coming up this week, so we will be ducking in. Make sure you guys check out our short videos that we toss up on the daily, as we will be posting things regular based on the outcomes of the games. All 4 games in the first round, or the wild card round, get going on Tuesday. So be sure to check them out. It is going to be the Blue Jays and the Twins. It'll be the Texas Rangers and the Tampa Bay Rays. And then, of course, in the National League, you're looking at the Diamondbacks and the Brew Crew and the Marlins and the Phillies. Should be some interesting first-round matchups. I'm not sure. If I had to pick somebody, I would probably pick the Blue Jays to take care of the Twins. That would be my guess. Well, it looks like we have a pitching change, as it is going to be the end of the night for Masahiro Tanaka. His day is over. They are going to be going to a left-hander. It is going to be Suzuki who is coming on in relief for the Golden Eagles. So this game here is going to be turning now into a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way. So Sho Suzuki coming in, as he is going to be taking over. This is his 59th appearance of the year. He's got 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 save on the year. He's worked 41 and a third innings. We'll give you all the rest of the specs here as we move along. So Shona Suzuki delivers a first pitch that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. It is going to be the heart of the order here for the Hawks. It'll be Kazuki Kondo, Akira Nakamura, and Kenta Imamiya to face the left-hander. He's allowed 35 hits in those 41 and a third innings. He's walked 22 and struck out 43. He's got an earned run average of 305. So he is the second pitcher used tonight by the Eagles. There's a breaking ball that misses down. On this 1 ball and 1 strike. So Suzuki ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher Sibatani, and he's ready to go back to work. I didn't get the change if it is going to be Ito in right field or not, or if they're going to run a different one out there. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Kondo. Steady diet of hard breaking balls here from the lefty Sora Suzuki. We would expect a pitching parade for both of these clubs the rest of the way now. The only one is that would Matayoshi still continue to stay in, because sometimes they can get a couple innings out of him. Fastball misses outside. A count goes now to 3-1 on Kondo. Certainly don't want to walk the leadoff hitter here in this position. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Kondo is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. Lefty versus lefty matchup. Sora Suzuki holds at the belt. And here comes the pitch. It's a slow breaking ball that catches the inside corner. And the count now goes to 3-2 on Kondo. I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to have to look at that on the replay. To me, that looked like a breaking ball that didn't break enough, especially when you've got Kondo at the plate. Somebody there who definitely deserves his calls. So 3 balls and 2 strikes, or he earned it anyway as a veteran hitter. Here's the 3-2 from Suzuki. Fastball misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. Kondo is going to get a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Akira Nakamura. It's the one thing that that frustrates me, not just in the NPB, but also watching Major League Baseball, is when you bring the relievers in and they're walking hitters. You just can't have it. You can't give the free passes to the hitters. Got to make them earn their way on. And there's been some nights when I watch games and I look at it and I say the offense will have more walks than they do hits. And especially at this level, at the Major League level or at the NPB level, it's just too easy for the hitters, or at least too easy for the offense. Well, Nakamura has stepped to the plate. He's already squaring to bunt here. So we'll keep our eyes here as Kondo establishes his lead, and they do a token toss over to first base. And Kondo gets back easily. So Akira Nakamura here, batting for the 2nd time tonight. He's 1 for 2. He's driven in a run. He also has bounced into a fielder's choice, and he bunts. He gets it down. Simatani fields it. His only play is going to be to first. That's going to go down as a sacrifice. It's going to go 2-4 in the books. Kondo has advanced over to second. He's now in scoring position, and that's going to bring Kenta Imamiya to the plate. Well, for Imamiya tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's bounced into a fielder's choice, and he is grounded back to the pitcher. And now there's a conference of Eagles on the mound, as they're going to talk it over here just in case that they might consider another bunt, because that is in Imamiya's repertoire. So they need to know what their responsibilities are with the lead runner at second. And certainly if they've got a crack at the lead runner, Kondo runs okay, but he's not as fleet of foot as some of the others. When he plays defensively, he is a bit of a liability late in games, so they usually will substitute him out. They'll trade the defense for the bat. So Imamiya striding to the plate. In this ball game tonight, he is 0 for 2. He's had that bounced into the fielder's choice, and he grounded to the pitcher in his 2 trips. And here comes the first offering from the lefty Suzuki, and it's a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Imamiya. They might want to take their chance at bunt here. As we said, Imamiya has the all-time leader in the Pacific League in sacrifice bunts. Runner second, Kondo, 1 gone here. As the lefty Suzuki holds to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. This is a reminder, not only are we doing our normal call on YouTube, but we also do call on Twitch. We have some Twitch listeners who jump in from time to time. We don't want to neglect those folks. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us as well. As here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. We do a dual stream on a regular basis. And we do invite those folks who do come in and listen from Twitch as well. We were saying the other night, we don't put a lot of time and energy into Twitch. We just post it up and do these streams. We collect some followers along the way, which is kind of cool. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and Imamiya goes down on strikes. He's in the books for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Well, for Yanagamachi tonight, he is officially 1 for 1. He's got a double and scored a run. He's also drawn a walk, so he has been on base twice. So he'll be the runner. Kondo's the runner at second, and Yanagamachi here. Yanagamachi's average has dropped to 258 on the season. Or check that, raised up to 258 with that double back in the second inning. No homers and 32 runs batted in. As the lefty works to the set, Suzuki ready to go. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count 0-1 to Yanagamachi. Watch some of these hitters hit. It's just like anywhere else. There's just not enough good hitters. Or I shouldn't say not enough depth of good hitters on both of these 2 ball clubs. That's why I still think the Buffaloes have got to be the front runner. And not only that, they are in first place, but they would be the odds-on favorite to come out of the Pacific League as that fastball misses down and away and the count's 1-1. Some of our friends that are in here that have listened to our channel have been saying all along it is going to be the Tigers and the Buffaloes. As the runner at second base, Kondo gets his lead. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball misses down. Nice stop there by Simitani. And having seen both of the teams play, not just on the internet, but also live, I said before, I think the best team right now is definitely the Tigers. There's no doubt about it. They've been playing great baseball. But the deepest team has to be the Buffaloes. They've got a lot of depth in their lineup, and they also have a lot of depth in their pitching. So it gets into that series. You got to say that probably the Buffaloes might have an edge over a long haul. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Yanagamachi. They do have the open base over there at first base, which would set up the force as Masaki Momori waits his turn on deck. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Yanagamachi touching up the plate. Waiting here on the offering from the lefty Suzuki. This is going to be pitch number 16 of the inning. Suzuki is definitely not a quick worker. Here's the 3-1. as he kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down. It's going to be ball 4. It's going to be the second walk issued in the inning here by Suzuki, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Masaki Momori. And that would have to make you wonder if this inning is complete if we see another inning out of Suzuki, and I would probably say not likely. So the runner at second is Kondo. The runner at first, Yanagamachi. Masaki Momori coming to the plate. 0 for 2 in this one. He's grounded to second, and he's lined to second. Hit an absolute bullet to the glove of Asamura, who had to go to his left and leap and make the catch his last time up. But that was against the starter Masahiro Tanaka. This is a different animal here with Sora Suzuki on the hill. So you got a lefty matchup as Suzuki holds to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Oh, he dialed that up a little bit. 94 miles an hour on the fastball there. The ball's at 1 strike to Momori. Momori was absolutely overmatched on that last pitch. I have to say, I wasn't sure that Suzuki would have that kind of stuff in him, and it was a pitch that had a little bit of cut to it. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded back up the middle, off the pitcher, fielded by Asamura, and he's got a play to nowhere. Oh boy, that is going to load the bases. So Momori's going to get himself an infield single. As that ball deflected off the pitcher over to the second baseman Asamura, it's going to move Kondo to third and Yanagamachi to second. It's a bit of unfortunate bad luck. Surprised that Asamura didn't take the shot at first base. I don't know if he would have been able to get the speedy Momori. But I think that would have been his only chance. And now the manager Ishii is out to talk to the home plate umpire. And by all accounts, that is probably going to be the end of the line here for Suzuki, as it is going to be the right-handed hitting Takuya Kai to come to bat. And I would have to think that will do it here for the left-hander, and that's exactly what it is. Well, hang tight, everybody. We got a pitching change yet again, as they are going to the bullpen to have somebody else come in to face Takuya Kai. We'll get that for you when we return in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, Freddie. And hey, guys, let's open up a 5-card pack of 2023 Topps Baseball. And remember, during this timeout, you can also go visit some other channels. Oh, look, Jeter Downs. Bleh. Diamond Princess, she's great. Oh, there's a cubby. Screw that. Hey, go check out the one and only Bud Stoney. Oh, here's one for another Hollis build. And you can stay anywhere you want to when you're around Freddie and the Seattle area. That's good for Mr. Fuego. And you know what? Why don't we bring out one of the Oakland A's for a league of her own? Bingo! Thank you, Freddie. Pitchers look like they're ready. Let's play ball!
Appreciate you, Steve. It is going to be Tomohiro Enraku who's coming in, making his 55th appearance of the year. He has got 3 wins and 2 losses. He's worked 45 2/3 innings, allowing 44 hits. He has walked 16 and struck out 30. He's got an ERA of 3.15. When I think of the back end of the bullpen, Enraku is somebody that the manager Ishii does have a lot of faith in. I'll be curious to see if this is going to be his only third of an inning or if they'll roll him back out for the bottom half of the 7th. He does have that in him. Also, Chihao Song and, of course, the lefty Matsui, the 3 pitchers that, when I think of the Golden Eagles, that's who I think of. Although this is a high leverage situation, bases loaded and down by 3. So maybe a little surprising that Enraku would be coming in here. Normally, I expect him when there are leads to protect. So that brings Takuya Kai to the plate. Kai tonight, 0 for 2 as he's grounded to short and has struck out his 2 trips to the plate. So a short night there for Sora Suzuki, and the first pitch is a fastball that almost gets by the catcher, Simatani. Nice play as he had to go to his backhand side. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to Kai. There's nowhere to put Kai. You're going to have to make him swing the bat. The reality of it is that base hit here could blow this game apart. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kai. Runner at third is Kondo. Runner at second, Yanagamachi. Runner at first, Momori. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And now the count goes to 2-0. So you got to think Takuya Kai's eyes got to be as big as saucers right now when these pitches come to the plate. So 2-0 to Kai. Senraku gets a new baseball and he's ready to go back at it here. He gets the sign from his catcher, Simatani, and now he works to the belt. And here he kicks and delivers. Fastball that misses inside. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Oh boy, you bring him in and you want him to throw strikes. That's been the problem here in the inning. Suzuki, of the 5 batters he faced, he walked 2 of them. As that was a contributing factor to load the bases. He is responsible for all of the base runners. But 3 balls and no strikes. And Raku looking to throw a strike here. Wonder if they give the green light to Kai. Here's the pitch. Fastball, take it for a called strike. The count now goes to 3-1. Got to attack the hitters that are in the 7, 8, and 9 spot. They're there usually for a reason. Although tonight I have to say that with this ball clubs here, so far they are 2 for 6 and a couple of walks. So they have been on, up to this point, the bottom third in the batting order on 50% of the time. There's a fastball that misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4. Takuya Kai is going to get his second RBI of the night. A bases loaded walk. It's going to bring home Kondo for the 4th run of the ball game. Advancing to third is Yanagamachi, and over to second is Momori. So 4-0 now. The Hawks have the lead. That brings up the top of the order in Yukio Shudo. And they really don't have any choice here. This is where they're going to have to yank the infield in. And Shudo will be a tough player to double up because he runs well. So here comes the first pitch to Shudo. It's a fastball that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. So 2 batters that Inraku has faced, and he's fallen behind on both of them. Right-hander against the left-hander. And Raku gets his sign from Simatani, and now he's ready to go to work again. The pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled off over on the third base side. Count now even at 1-1 to Shudo. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The Hawk fans are in good spirits tonight with the 4-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The count goes to 1-2 on Shudo. As we mentioned before, it is going to be some scoreboard watching from around the NPB. 4-2, the Marines have the lead on the Lions. As we said, if this score line holds here, it'll be the Eagles falling into 4th spot. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. And I've been barking about it for a bit here. Keep your calendars circled, as the Marines and the Eagles will meet on the last day of the season, or at least it's scheduled to right now. I think that'll be the game that will decide the playoffs. I just have that feeling. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. Or at the very worst, it's going to dictate the seeding. Assuming that the Eagles and the Marines maybe both get into the playoffs, and maybe it keeps the Hawks out. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Shudo as the right-hander and Raku delivers. Fastball misses outside. Now 3-2. The base on balls are what kill you. And Masahiro Tanaka's 5 innings of work tonight. He only allowed 1 free pass. We've already seen 3 here in this inning. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Shudo, he watched that one go by, and he goes in the books for out number 3. But they add to their lead here, do the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. There was 1 run in the inning on only the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors, and there were 3 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 4 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. We appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight on the Last Perhaps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change, as it is going to be a right-hander coming on in relief for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. A little early in my books, but maybe not as early in the books of Fujimoto. It is going to be the right-hander Fuji who is coming on in relief, as he will take over here for Fukuoka. The one-time Hiroshima Carp is making his relief appearance here. It's Koya Fuji. Well, Fuji started the year with the Fukuoka Ball Club as a starting pitcher. He ended up having as a oblique muscle strain that put him on the shelf for a bit. But now he is back, but he is back in the relief role that he had provided the Hawks with last year. And that is what we are familiar with him in seeing. It's his 31st appearance of the year. He's got 5 wins and 3 losses, 66 innings pitched, 45 hits allowed. He has walked 31 and struck out 78. And he's got an ERA of 2.32. And the first pitch is a fastball delivered to Hideo Asamura that he swings through and misses. And the count quickly is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Asamura tonight is 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles in his 2 trips to the plate. As the righty Fuji kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Asamura. So no balls and 2 strikes. Asamura, a very dangerous hitter in the order for the Golden Eagles, but he's not worth 4 runs, as he is hitting in the leadoff spot here in the inning. And so here comes the pitch from the righty. It's a fastball from Fuji that misses way outside. That last pitch came in at 97 miles an hour. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm kind of curious to see what manager Fujimoto has set up here for the 8th and the 9th. Certainly the 9th, it's Roberto Osuna time, but having Fuji come in to face Asamura, Okajima, and Abbey, not the worst thing, as all 3 of those can swing the bat to some degree. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2. And you think about it, if you bring somebody else in to face the bottom third of the batting order, you don't have to use one of your better arms to do it. The better arm can go out and face these 3 here, which could be potentially run-producing players for the Golden Eagles. So here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and he delivers. That's a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. I was digging to find out why Fuji was with the Carp and why he missed some time. And of course, when he came last year back to the NPB, to the Fukuoka Ball Club, he looked outstanding. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and it's lifted foul behind home plate, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Edo Asamura batting here in the 7th inning. The Eagles are starting to run out of outs as the 3-2 pitch is ready to come from Fuji as he gets the side from his catcher, and he now works to the belt. And the pitch is on the way. Fastball that misses down, and the count now is ball 4 as Asamura is going to get himself a leadoff walk here to begin the 7th inning, and that is going to bring up the left fielder, Takeru Okajima. Well, for Okajima in this one, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out swinging and struck out looking. So he is batting here. It'll be the first time that he's facing somebody other than named Ozeki. So he's probably happy to see a different pitcher out there. When Ozeki left the ball game tonight, we had him in our books with 5 strikeouts through his 5+ innings of work. And here comes the first offering to the left-handed hitting Okajima, and he swings through that first pitch. The count is quickly 0-1. Right-hander against the left-hander. Fuji gets the sign from his catcher, Kai, as he is ready to go back to work. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Neither of these two clubs, the pitching staff, when they do get runners aboard, are necessarily the most quick and efficient in the way in which they work. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. When I think of Fuji, I don't think of his breaking stuff as much as I think of that power arm that he can possess, so he can dial it up and challenge the hitters. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and he fires. Fastball swung on and missed. That's what we expect to see from Fuji when he comes in. He blew that one right by Okajima. 3rd time tonight, Okajima is in the books via the strikeout. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiki Abe. One of the things that I think about is, I tell the story a few times. We talk a little bit about analytics and how analytics are a part of the game in Major League Baseball. There are some stats that I think that you can take and throw into the trash. I don't find them to be particularly interesting. As the pitcher is ready to face Abe here for the first time. And the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball that misses down. But one of these stats that I've found interesting had to do with former Yokohama Danabe star Yoshi Tsutsugo, who was playing for the Tampa Bay Rays. And, of course, he bounced around after that. He was with the Dodgers, with the Blue Jays. He'd spent time with the Pirates, other teams. But when he was playing, one of the things that they had mentioned was when Tsutsugo was hitting for the Tampa Bay Rays in the playoffs, when they faced the Dodgers in the World Series, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count's now 1-1 to Abe. One thing that Tsutsugo had trouble with was hitting fastballs that were 95 and above. And so he only had a couple of bats in the World Series against the Dodgers for that very reason. The reason is he struggled against power arms, so they just let him languish on the bench because he couldn't face that type of pitching. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 1-2. But yet, if you've got a breaking ball pitcher or off speed or a junk thrower, that was the guy that you wanted to roll him out against because he was very strong against those type of pitchers. So 1-2 strikes here to Shikiabi as the runner at first is Asamura with one gone. Fuji acknowledging his catcher Kai as he works himself to the belt. And here comes the 1-2. Pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on and it's fouled straight back, and the count remains at 1-2. So it just makes sense. If you've got a guy that can't hit 95-mile-an-hour fastballs, why are you going to start him or why are you going to play him? He doesn't give you that opportunity. And it was something crazy. It was like his batting average wasn't particularly good to begin with. It was around the 200 mark. But then he was hitting about literally 80 points lower against pitchers who were throwing 95 or above. So here's the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Now Fuji kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's popped up foul. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side of home plate. That's going to keep the count at 1-2 to Shikiabi. So as we said, as a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves for these same two ball clubs tomorrow night. So if you guys are around, it is going to be Fukuoka and Tohoku. As we said, if the scoreline holds, right now it is 4-2 in the bottom of the seventh inning for the Marines over the Lions. The Marines will move into third place no matter what. The loser of this game, if it's the Eagles, they'll slide to fourth. There's a fastball swung on it. It's lifted foul down the first base line, and the count remains at 1-2 to Abbey. So then the playoff picture would look like this. It would be Fukuoka in second, and the third place team would be Chibalote Marines with the Eagles on the outside looking in. So 1-2 strikes here to Abbey as he waits on the offering here from Fuji, who works it to the set and now delivers. Breaking ball that misses way upstairs. The count now goes to 2-2 on Abbey. So 2-2 strikes. Takuya Kai looks over into the dugout and gets the signals from the bench as he relays it to his pitcher. Here comes the 2-2. Fuji fires. It's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. Count remains at 2-2 to Abbey. This is turning into be a bit of a marathon at bat. This is going to be pitch number 9 coming up here. Abbey's really done a good job of battling and staying with it here on Fuji. The runner at first is Asamura. He got there on a walk. There's one gone here in the seventh inning. As the Hawks are looking to do this here, our friend Titus asks how we're doing today. Well, it's been an okay ball game tonight. It's been hanging in there. We're doing pretty good as that fastball misses upstairs to Abbey, and the count is 3-2. For me here in this game, it's just scoreboard watching and watching the games slip away on the calendar. And I think the action is still going to be heating up. Of course, to me, coming into this game tonight, Hawks needed to win this because they have one less game than the Eagles and 2 less games than the Marines. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it for Abbey. He's gone in the books for the second out of the inning. So that 10-pitch at bat goes for naught. He's gone for out number 2, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Well, for Tatsumi tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He was erased in a double play back in the second inning, and he's also grounded to first. As the top of the seventh inning here, as the Hawks are holding on to a 4-0 lead. And the first pitch to Tatsumi is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to him. So 1-0 strikes. Right-hander against the left-hander. Fuji checks the runner over at first. And here comes the pitch. It's an off-speed pitch that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Fuji working quickly to the belt as he gets the sign from his catcher. He checks the runner at first. Here's the 2-0. Fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-1. Again, if I'm Fuji, I think I'm going right after Tatsumi with the heat. Don't take the foot off the gas pedal. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander Fuji ready to go again. He's working himself set to the chest. And now delivers. Fastball swung on and pop foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. And the count goes to 2-2 on Tatsumi. So after the leadoff walk to Asamura, Fuji has bared down. He's struck out Ojima and he's struck out Abbey. He's got a 2-2 count here on Tatsumi. We're moving into the deep water of this game. The Eagles are running out of outs. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Fuji kicks and delivers, fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 2-2. I've only once seen the PayPay Dome opened up. I'm kind of curious as to why they don't maybe open it up a little more. Of course, once I was in Japan and you realize how hot it was, I can understand why they don't open up the domes or some of the domes. It's nice seating at the Tokyo Dome, the Kyocera Dome. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Tatsumi stood there and watched it go by. And after the leadoff walk, Fuji has struck out the side here in the 7th. The Eagles with some uncompetitive at-bats other than that 10-pitch at-bat by Abbey. As Tatsumi goes down looking, and Okajima was easy work. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 4 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. No score. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few after this from our cheerleaders again tonight. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 7th inning, and it's going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters scheduled to come to bat for the Hawks. It means Hikaru Kawase, Yuki Ayanagita, and Kensuke Kondo. We're going to see if it is going to still be Anraku who is going to stay in the ballgame, or if the Hawks, or if the Eagles, that should say, decide to make another pitching change to go to the bullpen for yet another arm. 4-6-0 for the Hawks, 0-4-0 for the Eagles. No errors here tonight. It is going to be a left-hander coming on in relief for Tohoku. It is going to be number 47. This is going to be Masaru Fuji. So a couple of Fujis pitching here tonight now in the game against one another. So Masaru Fuji in relief here for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. And the first pitch delivered to Kawase is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 88-mile-an-hour fastball here from the lefty. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count now goes even to 1-1. So for Fuji on the season, he is making only his 8th appearance. There's a fastball swung on, it's grounded right to the first baseman. Abbey fields it. He steps on the base, and that is going to retire Kawase on a ground out to 3. 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. The batter here, 7 innings pitched, seven appearances on the year. This is his 8th appearance. 3 wins and no losses for Fuji. 31 1/3 innings pitched, 26 hits, 17 walks, and 20 strikeouts. As the pitch is a breaking ball swung on, it is grounded over to first. This time, Abbey has a bit of a struggle fielding it. He flips it to the pitcher covering, and that's going to be a ground out as Yanagita goes into the books. Ground out 3-1 if you're scoring at home along with us. He's gone out for the second inning, or the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Kazuki Kondo. An ERA on the year for Fuji is a 2.59 as we just finish off his statistics. That is going to be continued to be lowered here in this ball game if he can retire the next hitter, Kondo. So Kondo batting from the left side against the lefty Fuji, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that comes inside and almost hits Kondo. So 1 ball and no strikes. If it would have got him, it would have just clipped him on the elbow. So 1 ball and no strikes as the left-hander ready to go again. He kicks and he fires a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Kondo, the always dangerous hitter for the Hawks, takes a fastball upstairs. The count goes to 3-0. He's been on base twice tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips plus a walk and scored a run. So 2 gone here, but the lefty is falling behind in the count 3-0 to Kondo. Here comes the offering from Fuji, and it's a fastball that misses up and in. It's going to be ball 4. Is another walk. As we said, Tanaka had allowed 1 walk in his 5 innings of work. Then in the last half inning between Suzuki and Enraku, they had issued 3, and now here's another one here. So now it's going to be 5 walks issued tonight by the pitchers of the Golden Eagles. Kondo is the runner now at first, and that'll bring up Akira Nakamura. And really in the ballgame, only 1 of the walks thus far has come back to hurt the Eagles, as it was the leadoff walk to Kondo in the last inning. He eventually came around to score. The bases loaded walk by Takuya Kai. The first pitch that was offered to Nakamura missed upstairs for a ball. The count is 1-0. So here's the 1-0 offering from Fuji. A fastball swung on, and this ball is grounded into center field for a base hit. And that is going to allow Kondo to go all the way around to third. So now we've got ourselves runners at the corners, and all this danger has started with 2 out. A quick first 2 outs here by Fuji, and now he's got to try to get himself some concentration. But instead it was the left-handed batter, Nakamura, who pounded a single into right field. So runners at the corners with 2 gone, and that's going to bring up Kenta Imamiya to the plate. For Imamiya, he is 0 for 3 in this one tonight. He has struck out, grounded out, and bounced into a fielder's choice. So kind of funny is we're waiting here. The catcher is giving the information, and Keisuke Kondo is having a seat right on the bag at third base. You see some interesting things sometimes in the Japanese league. One of the things that you notice that is a unwritten rule in Major League Baseball. Ground balls in the infield, they got to touch the base at first base. And you'll see in the Japanese league, guys will run 3/4 of the way or 80% of the way, and then they'll peel out. So that's one thing there. And then you'll also see sometimes where there's time called and players will take a seat on a base or they'll sit cross-legged on the field. It's kind of interesting to see. So runners at the corners here with 2 gone. As Kenta Imamiya is waiting here on the offering, and the first pitch to him is taken for a ball. It moved him off the plate. So 1 ball and no strikes. And it's funny, here's Kondo at third base. He's not sitting on the base, but right now he's squatting over top of it. Maybe trying to look as inconspicuous as possible. The runner at third, Kondo. Runner at first, Nakamura. 2 gone here in the last half of the 7th inning. It is Kenta Imamiya batting here. As the lefty holds to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count now goes to 1-1 on Imamiya. Those of you who are just joining us, the Hawks are enjoying a 4-0 lead. They scored 2 in the first. They got 1 in the second. And they had 1 in the 6th. All of their runners here and the threat that they've created has come with 2 outs. Kondo, the runner at third, and Nakamura, the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Imamiya. It is the 4th pitcher tonight used by the Golden Eagles, as Fuji has replaced Enraku and Suzuki, as well as Masahiro Tanaka. Tanaka only going the 5 innings tonight. And he wasn't sharp. As I said before, he is a big game pitcher, and he didn't bring the big game with him tonight. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Counts now 2-2 to Imamiya. Curious to see if they put the runner Nakamura in motion here. The 2-2 pitch is about to happen. As the lefty works to the belt, and now the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on and is lifted foul down the right field line, giving chase and making the catch as he runs into the wall. Or does he? Or has he held on to it? And is it fair? That's the other question that we have. I'm not sure. We've got runners that are all over the place here. We're going to have a look at this one here. I don't know if that one went in, and the manager Ishii's coming out. He wants to have a look at this. He thinks that's a foul ball. I have to probably agree with him on that one. It is Okajima who is in right field, who had replaced Ogo. They had put, I believe it's Tanaka in left field. So we're going to go and have a look at this one, and we're going to look at it ourselves. You lose a little bit of sight down the right field line just because of the way that it's set up with the stands. Good decision there by manager Ishii to challenge the call here. So it looked like that Okajima had got over to make the grab. We're going to get a look at it on the replay here ourselves. Ball was driven the other way down the line. He had to race over to come to get it. The question is where did he touch it? Was he in foul territory when he touched it? And then the next thing you know is he couldn't quite hang on, and then definitely by running into the wall. Oh boy, I think they're in some trouble here. Now the next question is did he have it long enough in his glove? I have a feeling this ball here is going to stand. That was a ball that's in fair territory, so there's no doubt about that. The question will be did he actually make the catch? Because when he ran into the wall, that's when he lost the ball. And that's when they started running around the bases like crazy. So here come the umpires. And that is going to be a base hit here. It's going to be a 6-0 lead, as it's going to score Nakamura from first as Kondo comes around as well. So the Hawks here now padded their lead up 6-0 here in the 7th inning. We'll have to take a look to see where the runner was at or where he was thrown out at, as Fujimoto has come in to now he looks like announce another pitching change. So Looked like Imamiya was gunned down on the play as he was out at third base to end the inning. So it looks like he's going to get himself a 2 RBI double. And it'll be a 9-4-5 on the putout. And that is going to do it here in the 7th inning for the Hawks. Well, they got themselves 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors. There was nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is 6-0 for Fukuoka. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us while we break that entire play down.
Steve here from outside his refrigerator that a lot of you like so much. So let's go inside. There's my hot sauces and other stuff. Let's see what we can do here for Freddie. Awesome game, Freddie. Keep up the good work. We love the baseball. So why don't we rip open Garbage Pail Kids just for you and the listeners. Large Marge, she belongs in the fridge. Liberty Libby, well, she belongs down here on the beer. Apple Corey, hey, he's pretty cool. Put him on that beer up here. And Target Margaret. All Series 3 Chrome Garbage Pail Kids. Freddie, back to you in the game, and everybody else, please enjoy everything he does and tip him nicely.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. It is going to be a right-hander coming on in relief here for the Hawks as they are going to their bullpen yet again. It is going to be Kaino on in relief to pitch the 8th inning. So Hiroshi Kaino on in relief. He's making his 44th appearance of the year. 3 wins, 1 loss, and 2 saves for the right-hander. 40 2/3 innings. He has given up 29 hits. He's walked 13 and struck out 37. And he brings an ERA of 2.21 to the table. And the first pitch is a fastball. Misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. There is a pinch hitter here to bat. And to me, it looks like it is Daichi Suzuki. They give a different number up at the plate as that pitch is fouled away, and the count is 1-1. That's exactly who it is. It is not Sumitani. He is being hit for as Suzuki is off the bench. They had flashed Sumitani's number, but Suzuki in here batting for the first time tonight against the right-hander Kaino. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses way outside. Count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting Suzuki as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined right to the glove of the first baseman, Nakamura. Oh, Suzuki, he hit it on the screws, but right to Nakamura for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop at Suki Muribayashi. That is the worst feeling you could possibly have when you hit a ball on the screws and you find right to the glove of the fielder. As he comes walking back to the dugout, you got to be talking to yourself. Well, Muribayashi steps to the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and grounded out. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. I would assume it's probably not going to be back-to-back nights that we're going to witness a Hawks victory, though I have to say, if you're a Hawk fan listening in, I think tomorrow night this is going to be a tough battle for the Hawks. And I'll explain why here in a second. That is a breaking ball that missed. The count is 2-0. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, giving chase is Yanagita, and this ball is going to just go foul. It's going to run the count to 2-1. Oh, Muribayashi hit it a long way. Yanagita had a long run for it, but the ball was just able to slice foul into the corner. So, as I said, a little difficult. Last night, the Eagles played in Osaka. And I know they don't have the travel schedule that Major League Baseball, but you still have to travel. You still got to spend a night in a hotel or sleep in a different bed that you're maybe not used to. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on, another ball hammered down the right field line, but this one definitely is going to get into the seats in foul territory. Count is 2-2 to Moribayashi. So the Hawks, who played, just had to sit back and wait in Fukuoka as they were able to wait for the Eagles to come to them. As we said, it is a day of adjustment. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now is 3-2. Once a team's been there for a night or possibly two, when you play those 3-game sets, they can start to adjust themselves. That's what we witnessed here, some adjustment here by the ball club. So 3-2. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that is taken for a called third strike, not taken. It's actually the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand saying that the batter, Moribayashi, had gone around. So he has gone on strikes for the second time tonight. He's out for out number 2, and it brings up the top of the order in Hiroto Kobakata. Well, for Kobakata, he's officially 1 for 3 in this one. He has a single in 3 trips. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kobakata. Right-hander holding to the set again. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 1-1 strike. Kobakata had the single to center field his last time up. He's also flown to center and grounded to second. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball taken on the inside corner, and it counts 1-2. Kaino has come in and done his thing. And when I look back at the innings here tonight, the first, the third, and the fifth all went 1, 2, 3 for the Eagles. Also, the sixth unconventionally because it was a double play after a single. There's a fastball swung on it as golf foul down the right field line. The count remains at 1-2. So 1-2 strikes. Top of the 8th inning, 6-0 for the Hawks as they bat here, as the Eagles bat here in their half of the 8th. They are running out of outs, only 4 outs left to be able to score some runs. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses up and away. Count now goes to 2-2 on Kobakata. Last pitch was at 97 miles an hour on the gun. So they can bring the heat, can the relievers of the Hawks. So here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on. It is lifted softly over to short, fielded by Imamiya as he catches it in the air on the run, and that will do it here. Kobakata gone for out number 3. Well, there was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7.5. It's like another pitching change coming for the Golden Eagles. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 6 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles no score. We'll be back in just a few right after this, everybody. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us.
I've wanted to try this for a while. I want to try to make a wave. This is going to be the eye.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just waiting on the confirmation of the pitching change for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. They are going to be going to their bullpen again, as it would more than likely look as the manager Ishii had gone out to the home plate umpire to make a change. So we're just waiting for that information to come down the pipe. 6-0 lead for the Hawks here as they will come to bat with the bottom third of the batting order here in their half of the inning. As we pick at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Marines have extended their lead on the Lions to 7-2. And we will keep our eyes peeled on that one. It is going to be a right-hander here. Or check that. It is going to be a left-hander here for the Golden Eagles. But we can't get the identification of the number here, so we'll just hang on for a second. As the first pitch is a fastball that misses up and in for ball one. The count is 1-0. Looks like it's still the same pitcher. Maybe it's the same pitcher, Fuji, here. We do have some changes at the corners, left field, and behind the plate. We'll have to pick those off for you as we come along. So here comes the 1-0 to Yanagamachi. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into center field. Moving over is Tatsumi. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire Yanagamachi for the first out of the inning. One up and one away, and that'll bring up Masaki Momori. So the pitcher, Fuji, who gave up a couple of runs in the last half inning, is back on for yet another innings of work here. So Momori strides to the plate. He is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single. He's lined to second, and he is grounded to second. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Momori, as we said, he has been doing himself very well. We've got CB Baseball Card Collector in the house. We welcome you. We were watching some of your Oakland Athletic Angel videos, shorts earlier. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Mori waiting here on the offering from the lefty, who Fuji delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. The lefty, Fuji, delivers again. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded over to first. That is going to be taken easily. I believe that's Ito who has come into the ball game over there. Ground out to 3 as he had replaced Abbey. As that is going to put Momori in the books for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Or at least scheduled to bring Takuya Kai to the plate. As we said, looking at the defensive changes, Oda has gone into the spot where Kobakata was occupying, as he will take over as the catcher there. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Takuya Kai. It is Ito who is at first base. He bats in the 2-hole, which was originally occupied by Yuya Ogo, and the third baseman now is Daichi Suzuki, who bats in the 8 spot, once occupied by the catcher Sumitani. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 1-1 to Takuya Kai. And that is how it looks here at this point on. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kai here waiting on the offering from the lefty, who kicks and delivers a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. When this is over, we will give you a roundup from around the NPB. Before we shut this one down for the night, there's a fastball that is swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. Count remains now at 2-2 to Kai. The Buffaloes and the Fighters, 3-0 for the Buffaloes. That's a meaningless game. As we said, it's a first versus a worst battle. 7-3 lead for the Marines as they have that over the Lions. That's in the top of the 9th inning. Fastball swung on and missed. Kai goes in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. That's going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the 9th inning. Manager Fujimoto on to make yet another pitching change. We'll be back and get that for you when we return right after this. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back in just a few.
All right, so I'm going to finish this little beach scene.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a relief pitcher coming on here for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks to begin the 9th inning. As we have our friend CV back in the house, he says Otani hangover being felt in Anaheim. Yeah, I can imagine. I saw that they had given some awards out to him yesterday. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that are going to take that pretty hard in the Anaheim area. So Samori on in relief here as he's completing his warm-up tosses. And he will be slated to face, it'll be Ito, Shimauchi, and Asamura based on my accounts. And we'll come to bat here. He's just going to get himself ready to go as we move here to the top of the 9th inning. So this game here, they're going to need a lot of hope, a lot of magic, and a lot of help here if they're going to get through this bullpen. So the right-hander, Samori, just completing his warm-up tosses. That's the one thing, you get into the bullpens, it is a bit of a problem as they are just, it just slows the tempo and the pace of the game right down. They have a new center fielder and a new left fielder for the Hawks. Not sure who the center fielder would be to replace Yukio Shudo, but the left fielder looks like it is Tanagawara. We'll have to get that a little bit later. Here comes the first pitch to Ito. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. He came to bat in the 6th inning for Ogo, and he promptly grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. He is 0 for 1 tonight in this one. So Ito, Shimauchi, and Asamura, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Golden Eagles. So Samori ready to go again as he holds set at the belt. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. The Eagles are down to their last bats here in the 9th inning as the right-hander Samori gets the sign from Kai. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Count remains at 0-2. Speaking of hangovers, I'm sure that the Golden Eagles wish they would have had a couple of runs that saved from last night's ball game, at least to make it a little bit more entertaining. Put up an 8 spot on the board against the Oryx Buffaloes, and tonight looks like that the Buffaloes could probably have scored a few more in this one here if they would have had the advantage. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Ito swung at a ball out of the zone. He's gone for the first out of the inning as he walks back to the dugout talking to himself. That had a lot of arm side run to it. As Samori had looked like it was coming right down the middle, ended up shoulder high on the inside part of the plate as the batter swings through that for out number 1, and that'll bring up the designated hitter Hiroki Shimauchi. Well, for Shimauchi tonight, officially 0 for 3 as he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Shimauchi had a heck of a ball game last night. He had driven in 5 runs in the first 4 innings, 5 of the 8 runs last night. He accounted for by knocking them in. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Samori holding to the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Reminder, after this game's over, we'll give you the full recap of this one, as well as the out-of-town scoreboard, as we've been watching for most of the night. Fastball missing outside. The count goes to 2-2 on Shimauchi. Game's not over yet, but the Eagles are going to need a mini miracle here if they're going to come away with a victory in this one. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shimauchi, as the right-hander works to the belt, and here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is looped softly to the third baseman, Kawase, who's going to make the catch. It's a looping liner. That's going to put Shimauchi away for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to Hideto Asamura. Well, for Asamura, he's officially 2 for 2 in this one. He's got 2 singles and a walk. He's reached base every time he's come to the plate. The first 2 hits were off of the legend Masahiro Tanaka. The last time was a walk. After you double check that, but I believe it was off of the reliever Fuji. Or check that. Yeah, it would have been off the reliever Fuji, the Fuji of the Hawks, that is. First pitch breaking ball taken at the knees for called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Eagles are down to their final out here. I build some momentum into the next night. These 2 teams face off again tomorrow, but it'll be the 2nd place Hawks and the 4th place Eagles. Pitch is a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1. And that's assuming that the score line is held up between the Marines and the Lions. And by our looks, it looks like it is going to hold up, and that is a final score now, 7-3. So for us, as we are looking at that, that gives us the indication. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-2. Now the Eagles are down to their final strike. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hideto Asamura. Samori working himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch. And the 2-2 is on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed. Asamura goes in the books for out number 3, and that's going to do it here for the Golden Eagles in their half of the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Hang with us, everybody. We'll come on back in just a few, and we're going to give you the wrap-up of this one, as well as the out-of-town scoreboard before we call it a night. Appreciate you guys for being with us. We'll be right back in just a few. Hang in. There's not much more to go after this.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks, stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to give you the roundup of this one, and then we'll take you through the out-of-town scoreboard tour before we wrap it up. All games in the Pacific League tonight. The scoring was all one-sided as the Hawks stuck 6 on the board here against the Golden Eagles. It began in the first inning. A leadoff single by Yukio Shudo. He was sacrificed to second by Hikaru Kawase. Then a double by Yuki Yanagita scored Shudo. And then with 2 out, Akira Nakamura singled. And that brought home the second run of the inning in Yuki Yanagita that gave the score to the Hawks at 2-0. In the second inning, a leadoff double by Yanagamachi, and then it was a groundout by Momori and an RBI groundout by Kai increased the scoreline to 3-0. So that's where that one is. And then as it flips over, we got to the 6th inning where the Hawks added another run. So with a 3-0 lead, it would lead off walk to Kondo. He was sacrificed to second after Kenta Imamiya struck out. A walk to Yanagamachi and a single by Momori loaded the bases as they changed the pitcher and they brought in Enraku. He walked Takuya Kai with the bases loaded. That brought in the 4th run of the ball game and gave the Hawks a 4-0 lead. In the 7th inning with 2 out, Kondo walked, Nakamura single, and up stepped Kenta Imamiya. He doubled home a pair of runs. He was thrown out trying to stretch it for 3. And that gave the scoreline to the Hawks at 6-0. And that's where your final score ended. Your win in this game here is going to go to Tomohisa Ozaki. He left the game early with a little bit of injury. We suspected it was a blister. The loss is going to get tagged to Masahiro Tanaka. He's going to drop to 7-11 on the year. Our friend Chico Vlogs asked the question, what do you think about the Lions versus Giants? I'm not sure if you're asking about the Lions versus Giants or the Lions versus the Marines. That's the game that we're going to go take a look at right now. Saitama Cebu Lions played the Chibalote Marines tonight. It was a 7-3 victory for the Marines. 7-9-1 for Chiba, 3-6-0 for the Lions. It was Ojima getting the victory. He goes to 9-6. Dietrich Enns takes the loss. He falls to 1-10. Lions had home runs tonight by Sato. He had his 3rd. Yamamura hit his 1st. For the Marines, it was Ishikawa hitting his 2nd, and Gregory Polanco hit number 26 on the season for him. And again, your final score there, 7-3 for the Marines. And why is that game important? Because, well, with the win tonight, the Hawks are in 2nd place. With the loss, the Eagles have now fallen to 4th, and the Marines are sitting in 3rd place. So only a game separates the 3 teams as the Hawks have a half-game lead on the Marines, and it is a full game lead over the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The other game that we are keeping an eye on, but not too closely, is a battle of first versus worst. A 3-0 ball game at the Kyocera Dome. That game is also now a final, as that game has finished up. Not much in that game other than the fact that it is just keeping some teams loose or keeping the players loose in that one there. The starter in the ball game was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and he will more than likely pick up the win in that one, as opposed to, and Rodriguez will take the loss. There was a pitching parade for the Fighters in that one there. All right, everybody, once your final score, 6-0. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. So hopefully you guys can come in and join us for that. We appreciate you guys for being here. Hope you have a great night or a great morning wherever you're at, and we'll look forward to seeing you again on the flip side.
All I